I was involved in a bank fraud recently. I sent an email money transfer to someone and the money was nowhere to be found. Yes, bank frauds and scams do happen in Canada. How could I have protected myself? And did I get my money back?
Last year, Canadians lost almost $7 million to the bank investigator scammer.
And Chu gets emotional talking about what happened last month when scammers took her money and stole her trust.
I was at work and I was having lunch.
It began with an innocent phone call claiming to come from her bank.
This is CIBC fraud department, and did you spend this money? And this is how everything went from there.
I was panicking. He knew the branch number, he knew my address, he seemed to know everything, which is why I fell into it.
Law was scammed out of $12,000.
A bank draft is supposed to be a safe, guaranteed form of payment, but it turns out Mark became the victim of fraud. Now he says he's wondering why his bank didn't do more to protect him.
How is any business going to be able to trust a bank draft anymore?
Hello everyone, my name is Diakola. I have lived in Canada for over 25 years. Welcome back to this side of life. And if you're new here, welcome, and thank you all for joining me today. Bank frauds happen in Canada every day, like you saw in those clips, ranging from people getting random phone calls using scare tactics, telling you, that you have to do something urgently, there's somebody trying to hack into your bank account, you need to pay some money with bitcoins, you need to go buy gift cards or transfer some money to somebody. But today I will be telling you about a different kind of bank fraud that I had never heard before that happened and I was involved in it. So recently I had a contractor do some work for me and I needed to pay him about 1,500 Canadian dollars. And I transferred money to him. This contractor had been helping me with my basement suite, which I will show you about that in another video. And yeah, so we had been working together for a while and I'd been transferring money to him. So I went into my bank account and emailed the money to him. And for those of you who don't know, in Canada, we can transfer money to one another using our email. You register your email with your bank on your bank account, and then people can just use your email to send you money. So I've been sending money to my contractor many times. But this time when I was sending the money to him, I noticed that when I put in his email address, it was a company name that showed up. Normally it would show his name, but this time it showed something limited. And I didn't think anything about it. I was like, okay, I've always used this email address. I just thought maybe he changed the name of his account from his name, his own personal name, to a business name. So I sent the money. That was the first money I sent. I sent about $112. And then I needed to send about $1,500 to him. And I did it again. And I saw that this same name, that was the company name, showed up. And I sent it anyway because I thought, there can't be anything wrong, especially as he did not complain about the previous $112. So as it happens, of course, this is a bigger amount. And I was talking to him and I was like, did you get that money? And he was like, no, I didn't get it. Yeah, I panicked. I sent it to you. I sent that money to you. And he said, I didn't get it. I had to show him because when you send the money, it gives you a confirmation on your email and all that. I showed him the confirmation and I was like, look, this is the confirmation. I sent you that money. And that began the whole kerfuffle of this fraud. He now told me that when he went to pay the money, that his bank card did not work. And he was like, there's money in this account. Why is the bank card not working? So then we now figured out that, it seems like the money went to somebody else's account, even though I was using his email address, which he had registered with his account. So he went back to his bank, and after a lot of talking and talking, and like you saw in that clip, the banks are not really rushing to give you your money back or admit that they were wrong. So we were trying to figure out what was the problem. I think what happened was somebody that he had also done business with who needed to pay him money, which I don't know why that person will do that, went to their own bank, which is a different bank. That person's bank was the BMO bank. Went to their own bank and registered my contractor's email against their own bank account. And so my contractor, who is an older guy, got the email, and that email, I will try and show what it looks like on the screen. It will tell you to either accept or reject. And I think what he did was he accepted. He says he didn't accept it, but I think he must have, because there's no way that his email could be linked to that person's account if he didn't accept that unless somebody hacked into his email and was getting his email and accepted on his behalf, which is also possible. But anyway, this person succeeded in registering his email address to his own account. And now, every time somebody sends money to that email address, which is my contractor's email address, it goes to this other person's bank account. So all the money that was being sent to him was going to this other person's bank account. I never thought that was possible because we all use email money all the time. And my contractor is still working it out with his bank. I think they had to actually change his account number, which is a big hassle for him because this is his business account and he has to change his account number and change everything in the bank just to be able to stop this from happening. And of course, he has to tell everybody not to send him email money because all his money is now going into this other person's account. I don't know whether that person did it deliberately, but I cannot think of how they could have made such a mistake. Use somebody else's email and register it against your own account. And the banks kept sending him from his bank to BMO because his bank is Royal Bank. From Royal Bank to BMO, BMO will say go to Royal Bank. And it's still not resolved. But at least thankfully, my money did not disappear because I don't have to pay him again because there's evidence that I did send the money to him. It was just something went wrong with the whole system. So having said all that, to avoid this happening, I just want to say that people, whenever you get any email from your bank, make sure you read it very well. Make sure you are sure about what you are clicking, because my contractor said he thought that it was just an email transfer because he was expecting money from that person. He thought, okay, this is the email about the money that he was expecting, and he must have clicked accept, and he just linked his own email address to that person's account. Especially for our seniors, read it very well before you click anything. And also, whenever you want to transfer money to somebody, when you put in their email address, make sure that the name that you are seeing is the name of the person that you want to send the money to. And also, another step is to confirm from that person that they have received the money, because you might assume that they have received it and they haven't. Even though it's automatic, it's automatic email, still confirm from them that they have received it, because you never know, maybe it's going to somebody else's account. Yeah, so that's what happened. And just generally, to avoid being a victim of bank fraud, here are a few things that you can do. Number one, like my husband always says, never pick up a phone call if you are not familiar with the phone number. At worst, they will leave you a voice message. Don't pick up a phone call that you don't know who it is. Especially they target older people, like seniors, and they start telling them all kinds of things that scare them, and then they go to the bank and they go and, just like those women we saw in the clip, they go and withdraw all their money and they lose all this money. So watch the phone calls that you pick. You don't have to pick every phone call. They will leave a message or they will call back if it is important. Let me put on my glasses for the rest. And then number two, do not provide sensitive information on the phone. Don't provide your social security number, your email, or your name or your address. Sensitive information. Don't provide it to anybody on the phone. The bank will never call you to ask you for that kind of information. Instead, if somebody is asking you for that kind of information, just drop the phone and call your bank to confirm whether this is actually from the bank. Because they will call you and say, we are from the bank, and they will be asking you all these questions. The bank will never do that, so don't fall victim to that. And then monitor your account. Make sure you monitor your account. Every month, go through your bank account and see that there are no fraudulent transactions on there. Because it has happened before. You will just see somebody has used your credit card to buy something that you never buy, like some electronic or something. Just make sure you check your transactions every month, maybe set aside a day every month to do that. That will really help to identify if there's any problem quickly. And then whenever you are logging into your bank, make sure you are doing it over a secured Wi-Fi or a secured internet connection. Never access your bank account when you are on an unsecured internet connection, because that is how they can snoop in and steal your data and use it against you. I hope all those tips will help you and I to avoid being a victim of bank fraud in Canada, in the US, in the UK, Australia, anywhere in the world, even Nigeria. You can use these tips to avoid being a victim of bank fraud. If you're getting any value from this video, now is the time for you to hit that like button. Give us a thumbs up and help us grow this channel. That really helps with the algorithm to push the video and get the message out to more people. Thank you very much. That's it for today. That's all I had for today. Thank you so much for joining me again. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. Let me know, have you been a victim of fraud, of bank fraud in Canada or in any other country? Let us know your experience. It's good to share these experiences so that we can all learn from each other. Let us know your experience in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know whenever I upload new videos. Also, stay tuned to this channel for much more interesting content coming your way. Until I come your way again, until the next video, you go out and make it the best days of your life. Bye.